Hey, it's Grady at Twin Creek Audio. Today I'm in the bedroom studio. I will have some videos coming up about the new studio build for my main studio. But today I want to talk a little bit about the Tascam MSR-16. I've owned this machine for about 3 years and I featured it in numerous videos here on the channel. So today I want to talk about my thoughts after 3 years of ownership of the Tascam MSR-16 half-inch analog multi-track tape machine. So it's an analog 16-track machine, and that means it can record 16 individual discrete tracks at the same time. One of the things that people dislike about machines like the Tascam MSR-16 is the narrow track width on the half-inch tape. That can be a plus these days though, because you're saving a lot of money by only using half-inch tape instead of 1-inch tape or 2-inch tape. And no, these narrow gauge multi-tracks like the Tascam MSR-16 or something like a Fostex E16, they don't have the resolution of something like 2-inch 16-track tape does. But they do have a lot of analog character. And most of us that are going to purchase a machine like this or want to use a machine like this, we're not really concerned about that resolution. We're just trying to get our own kind of a sound or a different type of analog workflow or our own kind of mid-fi vibe. To me, this machine sounds very professional and very analog. Another criticism of this machine is the dBx noise reduction. But to me, the dBx noise reduction on this machine sounds pretty good. I actually like it. It gives it a little bit of the dBx compression characteristic to every track on the machine. It's kind of like having a built-in dBx compressor on every track of this machine, but only a little bit of that flavor. And I think it makes it sound even more analog than it is. So you may not be able to saturate the tape on a machine like this because that will make the dBx freak out a little bit and not sound very good. But it does have a ton of analog character. And above all else, this machine is extremely reliable. This particular unit that I have here was made in the late 80s and it is still in almost perfect working order. I did replace a couple of the rubber parts on it. The counter roller and the pinch roller are new Athen parts, but otherwise it's a solid machine. I've only had to do some minor maintenance and replace those rubber parts to have a fully functional half-inch analog 16-track machine. Machines like this do require maintenance, but these Japanese multi-tracks like the Tascam MSR-16 do tend to hold calibration really well, and the adjustments for the calibration and the reel tensions and everything are right behind this front panel. You just take these screws off and it folds down. It's on hinges, so it makes it pretty easy to maintain this machine. All these buttons and switches on this machine are pretty good quality too. I mean, I've never had really any problems with this machine. Just had to do some reel tension adjustments and calibration, typical maintenance, and replacing the pinch roller and the counter roller there. And that is really all that I've had to do to this machine. It's also a lot of fun to use. It kind of changes the way that I think about recording when I'm in here using this 16-track machine. I'm not too worried about the cost because it's half-inch tape, and I can bake half-inch tape and use that, then transfer it to digital. I've made a lot of videos over the last 3 years with this machine, so I'll put a link at the end of this video and in the video description to some of the demonstration videos and different things I've done with this machine. The MSR-16 has a lot of cool features that make it pretty easy to use for one person in a small bedroom studio or small project studio, for somebody that's crazy and still wants to use analog tape instead of a computer. It has a couple of locate points. It has an auto punch and a rehearsal punch. It will autoplay when it gets back to the locate point that you set. It also has controls for the input mode on the tape machine. That's where the signal coming into the input of a particular track on the machine is passed through to the output for monitoring purposes. It's also a very good idea to get the manual if you own one of these, because this has all the information about maintenance and calibration and all of that. Of course, you can download this manual as a PDF and not have to go purchase one if your machine doesn't come with one. This one's even got some other notes in it. I'm not going to go further into the functions and features of this machine in this video because this is supposed to be a review. And I may make a future video with every single function and feature if enough of you leave comments and you want to see something like that. So let's check out some examples that I've recorded and mixed with this Tascam MSR-16 so you can hear what it sounds like. We can play the mix back off of tape and hear what it sounds like now that it's on tape. I'm not really using any processing or adding any reverb or anything. This is just to hear the sound of these tracks that I recorded onto the Tascam MSR-16. I've got my trusty remote control, and with the remote control right here, I'm going to go ahead and play this back through the console from tape. So for its age, the reliability of this machine is top notch. The sound quality is also really, really good for the narrow gauge format. I personally like the sound of the DBX noise reduction, though the machine is a bit too noisy to use without DBX. And the Tascam MSR-16 is a pretty good value, considering what typical used tape machines cost today, and the fact that you might get one that doesn't work or is as big as a tank and you don't have any space for. The MSR-16 makes a lot of sense, especially for those of us that have a small space. Due to its reasonably small size, really good analog sound, and reliability, I have to give the Tascam MSR-16 the highest rating for an analog machine of this type. I've also owned a few other narrow gauge analog multitracks, and to me the Tascam MSR-16 stands out in both reliability and sound quality. So let me know in the comments if you have one of these awesome Tascam MSR-16s, or if you've used one, or what you think of the sound of this machine. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have an excellent and wonderful day, night, evening, weekend, weekday, hour, minute, second, nanosecond, whatever it is you're having. Have a good one. Thanks so much for watching.